Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. Sorry I have a cracky pop in my mouth. I'm not pregnant. We'll never be pregnant. We're not doing that game. But this is really good for nausea. I have been crazy nauseous since my surgery. So, it's basically a hard candy. A little bit of sourness. You don't have to get these, but I find that they're the best. Just sucking on the sour candy can help with nausea. I don't know what that. I think it's just like the reflex of like gagging or something. Like some reason sour helps out, and it's not super sour. It's just like wildly sour. But I am in the middle of making a packer. I don't want to go get my stuffing, my polyfill, so we're gonna just put this to the side. I didn't make this alive because honestly, like, my mental health has not been well. My mental health has not been well for a while. Well, it took a huge dip when I had all these physical problems. And I just, like, I have a really hard time dealing with certain comments. And normally I would either brush them off or say, like, maybe I misunderstood. But, like, I know right now I'm, like, very tender. And so dealing with things in real time can be very challenging for me. And I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but basically, I just, like, my threshold for emotional pain is, like, nothing right now. So I'm just gonna continue making pre-recorded videos until I feel up to making live ones, and can show my sparkling personality again, because right now I'm just like, no. I'm drinking a bubbly, just sparkling water. Nothing fancy. I don't know, like, I've been really having a hard time, like, getting enough water down, so I'm just trying to do it in any way possible. And this probably isn't the best way to do it, but, like, you know, there's no sweeteners, no calories, all smiles. It matches my hair, kind of. I don't know what it is about this green. I don't really like the shade, but I can't quite put my finger on why. And I know that my hair is unstyled and pretty much in, like, the frizziest, craziest mode that it could be in right now. But something about this green is kind of weird to me. I think because it's more of, like, a blue tone, like, slightly more blue tone green. It's not really working for me. But whatever. So I was gonna make a bunch of market bags. I'm kind of undecided if I want to do the Pride booth. I just feel pretty demoralized by some feedback that I've gotten, which I've talked about before, so I won't rehash. But basically, I just have some people who aren't necessarily in my corner in this aspect. But when I started making this, instead of being reasonable and smart and making the bottom first, I just started crocheting like a mesh type pattern, and then I was like, oh, that was supposed to be the bottom. I should have made that the bottom. So I'm frogging basically all of it to restart. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I just, like, started making it like a hat, which was really weird. Like a bottom-up hat. So this is the sparkle yarn from Big Twist. I don't buy it often. In fact, I guess I have a couple colors, but their color selection's really weird. And it never really goes on sale, so I don't usually participate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go about halfway. I'm gonna go the length of one side, then I'm going to turn, instead of doing a ring, I'm going to go through and do the method where you go through the back loop only, and you circle both sides so you can kind of create that like bag shape. I was thinking about making some bags that were shaped like other things, like I've seen like lemons and stuff like that. I was thinking about doing like a rainbow bag, but I just can't be bothered right now. So I'm just gonna make some bags. And just gonna see. I'm just gonna use random colors. Not all. Actually, most of them won't be rainbow. You know, when I was talking to someone about this, they were like, you know, you want something. Like, people are gonna want, like, all the rainbow things at Pride, which they didn't say. I know for a fact people want, like, Pride flag things at Pride. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, like, throughout the day, like, not everyone wants to scream, like, their either sexual orientation or gender identity to everyone all the time. So, I want to make some more, like, just kind of incognito things. So, I'm using my Furls Odyssey on a 5mm. And I don't use this often because I just don't often find the reason to use it. So I was just looking for 5mm furls, and then I was like, oh, I can't find my 5mm resin furls, so I'm just going to try this Odyssey. And I was expecting it to go horribly because this yarn has a strand of metallic wrapping around it. And traditionally, my, I'm sorry, I'm drooling so much. Preggy Pops. I'll be your spokesperson. I'll never get pregnant, but I will be your spokesperson. But yeah, so, well, I don't remember what I was saying, but I was expecting this hook to catch the metallic strand a lot more, or just, like, kind of, break the, split the yarn, but it hasn't done that at all, which has been really awesome. So it's actually gone through, like, really smoothly, and I think probably better even than my clovers would have. Okay, so I'm just doing a single crochet. You probably could have started the mesh pattern already, but I'm not doing that quite yet. I'm just doing a single crochet all the way down till I get to the end of that last stitch. Okay, and I'm going to put 3 in the very last stitch of the row. And then I'm going to come back around and I'm going to do a single crochet on the other side, so that we've kind of created a little loop-de-doop situation. Now, if you're the type to worry about my health, my mental health, whatever, I need you to know that, like, I do have, like, help from people outside in my regular, normal life. So I'm not doing this alone, even though I feel very alone right now. You know, it's challenging having physical pain anyways. even if you were perfectly mentally fine, pain can put you in such a weird place. And so because I'm not mentally fine anyways, it has been really challenging for me to adapt with the situation. You know, it's very difficult for me to deal with just like not being able to keep myself busy. You know, that's a huge part of why I crochet, is because it keeps my hands and my mind busy. And to not be able to do that feels really disruptive. And I feel like my brain's just kind of like melting, if I'm being honest. And it's not like I could sub crochet in for another craft, because like literally everything hurts. So I can't find a comfortable position. I'm uncomfortable or in pain all the time, all throughout the day. And I'm so sick of it. And so that's kind of why I think pre-recording might be easier. I can pause if I need to. I can take things in stride and do things at my own pace. I would really prefer if no one tried to be my doctor and tell me how to deal with this, because it doesn't help me. In fact, it just makes me very, very mad. And like, do whatever you want to. I mean, like, I guess I can't control you. But like, when someone's feeling bad and just trying to do their best, when you tell them what they're doing wrong, it's actually not helpful. Like, I'm surprised. Like, it's not helpful. So please just, if you can, refrain from telling me what to do, how to, live my life. That would be super, but I know sometimes that's just too much to ask for some people, and that's okay. It's okay. But just know that I probably won't take it nicely. I'll be like, this person specifically did not listen to what I requested. And I consider you all friends, but I know that everyone has different styles of being a friend / caretaker, and I'm not looking for a caretaker right now. I'm looking for friends. So please just keep that in mind if you can. Now, I have been doing breathing exercises to help increase my lung capacity again. If you didn't know, and my surgery complications, because it was painful to take deep breaths in, I didn't even know this could happen. Because it was painful to take deep breaths in, I started subconsciously taking shallower breaths. And apparently when you don't use your whole lung capacity, your lungs can collapse, either partially or fully. So both of my lungs collapsed partially. So I have very limited range of breath, I guess. And, or just like diminished lung capacity. And so I'm doing like a respiratory therapy thing with a spirometer. I did like a video on TikTok, and then I think I did a video. I showed it here. And it's not in the room, so I'm not going to go get it because I don't really want to get it, if I'm being frank. But it's used to measure your lung capacity via a tube, feeds into like a little meter that can help you kind of learn to control and expand your breath. I really hate using it. I know that I've probably been slacking a little bit more. I used it a lot the first day that I got it, and then I just was kind of like worn out, because like you breathe out and then you try to like breathe out, but you have to stabilize your breath too, because there's like a little feature that has like a little happy face on it, and there's a down sign and an up sign. Basically, you want to try to inhale, but you want to stabilize in that happy point. If you saw my video, you know what I'm talking about. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, again, I'm not getting it, so just imagine. But it's really hard and a little demoralizing when you think you're taking like relatively deep breaths and then you see that you are literally like probably like 1/3 of the lung capacity that you need to be. It's a little bit too like visual for me right now, if I'm being honest. So what I've been doing in addition is doing breathing exercises that I've learned through DBT, CBT, therapy, all kinds of things. I have apps that help me breathe mindfully, and those have actually been a lot more helpful, I believe, than my spirometer, because what I do, so I'll show you, I just finished that strip, so it looks like this. So now I really have two sides to go off of, and I'll be in the round, but I will be working, I won't be, I'll be in the round, but I'll be at the end of each round, I will stop, slip stitch, chain, go around. So not a continuous round. There we go. So what I've been doing is there's a couple different types of breathing exercises that you can do. I'll show you some. There are many. And they help me a lot. I might be weird with hard candy in my mouth, but let's see. So, the first is box breathing. This is a pretty basic breathing technique. It's very effective, one of my favorites. So, you can try to imagine a box, right? And so the sides are all equal length. And so most people start with 4 breaths and as their measurement, right? So it starts, if we do it with 4 breaths, you can do it with 3, you can do it with 5, you can do it with 7, whatever you want. But 4 is kind of, where a lot of people start. And so you breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, you breathe out for 4, and then you hold for 4. So while I'm doing this, while I'm breathing in, I'm not only focused on my breath, I focus on mentally creating a picture of my lungs expanding and then my lungs holding, being secure, and then my lungs, contracting like they should, not in like a, way, which I think is what's happening now. And then I hold them at their, natural relaxed state. So I'll do this a couple times. I'm sure this is the most exciting thing to see. But if you have anxiety, if you have panic attacks, this is a really good tool. If you have trouble with your lung capacity and you're working on respiratory therapy, I found that I like these a lot better than like the demoralizing spirometer that I have. But if you are prescribed as a spirometer, please use it. I'm not telling you not to use it, but I'm just saying this helps me in addition. So visualization helps, right? So I'm going to breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. And hold for 4. So, that's box breathing. That one doesn't put a lot of pressure on my lungs. Doesn't really push me that far. So another one I'm doing is I think it's called 378 breathing. It is what it sounds like. So you breathe in for 3, you hold for 7, and you breathe out for 8. So the theory behind this is a lot of us take in more air than we actually are consciously pushing out, I believe. So it's like ridding the body of carbon dioxide. And so for me, this is important because I need to work on my exhales. So this is my favorite right now for this particular problem that I'm going through. So you're going to breathe in for 3. You're going to hold for 7. You might start to get a little like nervous towards the end of the 7. You might start to get a little like, I need to breathe this out. I need to breathe in. I need to do something. But just try to calm down. If you can't do it right away, work your way up to it. It's fine. There's no fucking rules. Just do what feels good, right? And then you breathe out for 8, and you just really get every little air molecule out of your lungs that you can possibly get. You reach far in there, and you just pull each one out. And again, for me, this helps with visualization. I'm focusing on breathing out and just drawing all that air out. I kind of think of it physically being pulled from me. I don't know if this is helpful to you. Oh, laughing hurts. But yeah, so let's try it. So again, in for 3, hold for 7, and then out for 8. And then no holding at the bottom, you just start right back up again. So breathe in a lot when you breathe in for 3, okay? I should have mentioned the breathing in, generally in any breathing exercise that they want you to do, you breathe in through your nose, and you breathe out through your mouth. Generally when you're breathing out through your mouth, you do, kind of like a straw out type of breathing. You don't go, but there are some breathing exercises like lion's breath, where you actually make physical noise. There's bumblebee breathing, where you actually make physical noise. So just options if you're in the lung struggle bus like I am. Okay, so now I'm going to start my mesh. And the reason I'm not doing this in a continuous round is that I want to be able to do like a subtle rainbow stripe. I'm going to use my Mexicana. I saw this Facebook thing where someone had thrifted like a crocheted top that was rainbow, and then they saw a crocheted like granny square blanket, and it was in the same yarn. And they're like, I wonder if the same person made this. I was like, Mexicana? It's like it was in Mexicana. Like, I can spot that shit from a mile away. Don't try me. And, if I have one superpower, it's being able to spot a Mexicana pattern. But they're like, I wonder if the same person made it, which it's very possible, but, like, this is a very popular yarn. And I was just thinking, like, I know exactly what yarn that is. It doesn't mean that the same person made it. So mesh is really easy to get into the groove of, which I like. Now, I've tried other, like, mesh patterns that weren't a double crochet and a chain, which is what this is. And you skip a space at the bottom. I've tried other ones that were mostly chain-based, and honestly, I have to say that those hurt my hands a lot more. So I'm a little cautious to go into a project like that because it just hurts my hands, and I'm trying to, like, power through multiple bags and stuff like that. So, yeah. can't afford hand paint right now. I'm still not sure if I want to do my Pride booth or not. I am going to focus on doing a couple projects that are Pride themed, see how they sell on like Etsy and stuff like that. And then I'm going to, I don't know, decide if I'm going to do my Pride booth or not. I just really was demoralized, and I don't have really a lot of the money up front, so I just kind of, if I did it, I would want it to be successful in the fact that I could recoup my costs, and successful in the fact that I could bring products to queer and trans folks that they actually need, that they want, that would help make their lives easier, So, also just like cute things, that are fun and quirky and queer and weird. That's kind of my gig. So, I just don't think that, the people who discourage me, I don't think they understand, the LGBTQ perspective. I don't think they can understand, and maybe this is a rash generalization, but, they've never been to a pride parade, so, they can't even, have witnessed it. They haven't even, witnessed it. But there's so much celebration of life and being who you are at pride that, people really do, enjoy supporting, businesses that support queer people, It's just kind of there's joy in knowing that there's people out there who value your existence, even if it's just in a monetary value. It's just it's what's the fucking word? It's validity, right? It adds validity to just kind of what we experience on the daily, because there's a lot of places that we can go that there's just covert homophobia and kind of this this disdain or hatred towards our existence. And so it's just nice to just feel free. I mean, for me, pride is very freeing. I feel like for me, when I go to pride, it's so much easier for me to portray who I actually am, which is a femme, trans fan, and than anywhere else. For me, outside of pride, I feel like I have to mask it up more because I want the world to see that I'm a man, and that my femininity doesn't detract from my manhood, but it's still a challenge, right? And so pride allows us to be the most free, at least for me. This is my experience. It's not everyone's experience in pride, and I hate to hear that, but for me, it's I really I really value pride as a tool, as an outlet for letting me be myself. And yeah, so I think that it's hard for people who aren't in the community or who haven't witnessed people in the community experience that queer joy, that trans joy, that pure joy that comes out of being just accepted for who you are. And because if you haven't had to fight for it, it's something that's very easy to take for granted, I imagine. But at least in what I've noticed. But so I just feel they wanted more covert things, and I feel there's times that we're more covert in our queerness and our transness, and there's times where we don't want to be fucking covert. There's times where we just want to just fucking have it scream from the rooftops, and that's okay too. So anyways, I feel like they couldn't get my vision because they haven't experienced or seen that type of joy, where there is no limit to how we can portray ourselves. And I feel like the community really comes together around Pride. I wish this is all year round, but, you know, we get a month, so we should be happy about that at least, right? But Pride doesn't have an end date. Loving who you are doesn't have an end date. I don't know how I got on the soapbox, so I do apologize. Happens a lot. I love Peggy Pops, honestly, because I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I think it's like the combination of like the pain that I'm feeling overall in my abdomen, mixed with like this like just like constant like, I don't know if it's something. It's like there's nausea created from like not being able to like have that like normal airflow where like I feel like my esophagus or something is like, please give me more, give me more. It's a fucking Britney Spears song. And I feel like it's that like muscle spasm, which I do have a muscle relaxer, which I should take. Um, because it's like moving, it's making me very nauseous. And I just like, I feel like sometimes I'm just like, I know my hair is green, so don't be like, oh, let's do my hair. Sometimes like my face is like literally like green with like just like I'm gonna vomit all over the place. I'm sorry if that's TMI, but like it just sorry. It's a weird tough feeling, and like while like there's some pain that I am such a champ through. Like I can get fucking piercings all day long. Kind of a wimp during tattoos, if I'm being honest, but I still like doing them, so I suck it up, have my panic attacks, and keep moving. Um, but yeah, I'm not used to physical pain. For people who deal with chronic pain and don't fucking lose their marbles, I am in constant envy of you. You should be very proud of yourself because it's very easy to just like be like, fuck this and just be out, you know, like just be like, count me out. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm game over. So, props to you people who live in pain or who live with chronic mental illness or anything like that, because it really does affect your mental well-being, and you know, we want you all to be as healthy as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna go and reach my last stitch. Technically, you're supposed to have an even number of stitches, but I just don't really care. I didn't even care to count. I just was like, I'll add or subtract, do whatever if I need to. But so I'm gonna go in and do a slip knot into the top of that stitch, and then I'm gonna chain 2, and then I'm going to do a double crochet into the top of my last double crochet, not last double crochet, but first double crochet of the last row. And then do a double crochet, chain 1, and then you're gonna skip a stitch, and you're gonna go into the top of that double crochet. Very easy pattern, very fast. The more holes you have on something, generally the more fast it is. This hook is sliding through this yarn like butter in a way that like it's so shocking to me that I continue having like, whoa, like this is actually happening. Holy shit. Now that I said it, it's like acting up, but it is a good hook. So, I guess that's what I have to say lately. I wish my Etsy could be more consistent so that it would be a little bit easier for me to just have a business from home. But unfortunately, that's just not the name of the game for me right now. And, yeah. So, sorry. Yeah. So, thanks for listening to me. I wish I could do this live, but I just really don't have the temperament for it. And I don't want to be in a bad mood and like go off on someone who had nice and well intentioned things to say, but I'm just not in the mood to be like told what to do. I never really am, heads up, but I am definitely not in the mood to have that right now when like I've got 20 billion doctors, my wife, and me all trying to figure out how to get through this. It is very challenging. I feel awful. Like, I don't want to go live because I don't want to, like, have my bones collapse on live internet. So, I just feel like I'm just made out of jello and bones, and I am just gonna just, like, melt. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Sorry that I'm not around more, but maybe you like that. I don't know. I appreciate you watching, and let me know what you're making, and maybe kind of what are your thoughts on like a Pride booth, maybe versus like bumping up my Etsy sales by like I don't know, making more of the stuff that I was going to make for the Pride booth in on Etsy. I just feel like Etsy's been really hard for me. I only sell Packers. Sometimes I'll occasionally get likes on like favorites on other items, very occasionally. But then people almost exclusively buy Packers from me. So like I literally have 32 products on my Etsy and only one sells. So kind of really don't know what I mean, at least I have that, but I don't really know, like, should I just remove the rest of it? I don't know. So let me know what your philosophy on all that stuff is, because I'd really appreciate some feedback, because I'm really confused right now and I don't really know what to do. So yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much for listening, and stay safe.